Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the beautiful landscape of Scotland. In today's adventure we're away to check out a crazy old abandoned wooden cabin in the forest, and it's out here in the remote lands of Scotland. I'm not going to reveal the exact location because of vandalism's sake and stuff folks. We don't like these places getting destroyed. But yeah, it's a spooky little eerie hut in Highland 87 that's never seen it before. I saw it one time years ago, but I thought it's cool to come back. This is the postie here in this van, so we're going to let him go past before we cross the road and enter the forest. This place is mad. There's just like one road that goes up. It's so remote, you get to the top here, you have to turn around and come back down. And you do get roads like that in Scotland. It's proper wilderness. You could say it's probably Scottish Highlands here. Wow, yeah, look how soggy this autumn landscape is. The reason we're in this glen this week, we were basically looking for war memorials and stuff. So we were out in wild lands looking for the war memorials that were harder to see and harder to find. So when we noticed this in the forest, we thought we'll have to just come for the adventure. But it is eerie, and it could be rotten. We'll have to watch we don't fall down through the floor. So we'll just kind of analyse the structure when we get here and see how safe it is. Look at the character of it. It's like the scene of a horror movie, folks. And then just look at the autumn colours with the beech leaves on the ground. A few of the trees here have still got their leaves on them. And at one time this would have been a hut built here for the shooters and the beaters. And it would have been like a gamekeeper's hut. Here, I've just realised I've not brought my torch.
Oh no.
I've got it in the car. No way. Let's have a look in though, folks, anyway. Oh, it's proper stinking. Let's have a look. I'm covering my mouth, folks. Check this out. There could be rats. There could be mice. Oh, this is so eerie. See with this clip, folks, I'm going to enhance the footage. Here, it looks like this front wall's leaning out.
Yeah.
I don't know how safe it would actually be to go along there. Oh, this is just a madness, folks. Check it out. Spooky and eerie, but we're actually not trusting the structural integrity of this. Oh, it's just mad. It's so stinking in there, like dampness. It's probably no worth actually going in. Look, there's been another door at this end before. There's one of the rooms. Oh, the character of that, folks. It's eerie. That's how it's worth throwing the camera on. When we notice stuff like this and documenting it, and there's people from all over the world watch these videos, and to see the character of this set within this landscape, I can see trees and stuff just dropping their leaves. Sometimes this time of year is one of the coolest times of year to go on a wee adventure. Look how it's been constructed, the pillars and stuff's all starting to lean. That's how we're not going to trust it today, folks. Sometimes when you're exploring you do have to be super vigilant and cautious just to stay safe. Wow, yeah, wow, look at this. That's where the wee corridor is. It's almost been like built onto the side. And I think that's been like a wee toilet bathroom. I can see there's like spiders hanging from the tree. Whoa, it dropped right down there, I got a fright. The size of these beech trees and stuff, massive. And then look at the land here, this looks like an old dead like oak tree or whatever. Alright folks, welcome to the next location on this exciting video. And this here actually used to be a level crossing. At one time the trains used to come this direction from the Dun station, and this is the old train line which is now abandoned, and it used to lead off this direction towards like kind of the Arbroath area, I believe. So today's adventure, for the second part of this, we've just been to that mad old log cabin. Today's video we're away to go down here and see what remains of the history. It's been a good few years since I've even been here, so it's cool to see what's left of this old bridge after some extreme storms over the years. Oh, look at this land. Once again, for this location we're joined by Highlander 87, folks. It's too wet and drizzly today to have the drones out, So we're just basically out having wee adventures, making the most of what we can do. And just think about the old railway line which was here. At one time there was a lot of these big metal girders, big steel girders along here where the track was obviously laid on. But then after they did away with that at the end of the railway period, the end of the steam railways and stuff, they just left this one. And it is cool having this to walk over. It's a proper big chunk of steel. And it's like a pathway. And just look how they built it with the stones. Yeah, it's cool coming into places like this on wee adventures and just seeing what remains of these historical places. And I can see the other side of this has just changed dramatically. There didn't used to be as many like big boulders and stuff at the other side. I believe this railway line was in operation into the 1900s. It could have even been the 50s or whatever that they finished using it. Yeah, there's these massive piles of stones. This has changed so much. They must have been controlling it or maintaining it after the storm. See down here, that's just so different down there. I can't even remember before that there was an area like this. It's like the water's just taken away loads of land and all the kind of earth or whatever was growing on top of it. Look at the way this meanders down the way. It's proper interesting. I think this is a popular fishing spot, and I think it's Kinnaird Estate that owns some of this land, or most of this land. Anyway, let's head further down. It's totally safe because it's such a massive girder, but it's a bit scary because there's no fence, folks. You always have to just explore with caution and within your own means. Look at this, how there's a massive wooden pillar. Oh look, there's another one. So do you think before this was built there was an older railway bridge here and it was a single line, and then they changed it and developed it? Because I've never noticed this history. I think there's a lot of earth and stuff which has been taken away by the water, and it's revealed some of the older history that's maybe been underground. We'll have to watch out because we can't trust this fence. Look at that, there's no fence here to our left, folks. Yeah, there's these wee ladders which I think people could go down and do some fishing. Yeah, what remains of it? Look, there's some metal pipe work, scaffolding down there, and it's all stuff that probably got brought down the river in a storm. Whoa, I had to watch I didn't slip here. It's proper steel. Yeah, look how it's changed here, like they've proper put all this in. I'm sure there used to be a lot more trees and greenery. Look over there how there's proper built stones. We keep getting the wobbles on this bridge, folks. We keep getting the wobbles, like, because we're so high up. And see when the water's flowing below you, it's a mad feeling. It is safe though, because the girder's not going to move. Look, there is a wee ladder down here, so we'll be able to get down and have a wee look around and explore this side, which is pretty cool. Because for years at this location we couldn't get over and explore, and you can see there's been more girders at a certain time, most likely originally up on their side, whereas this one's been laid down. The stairs has got a wobble. Yeah, it's madness, folks. I don't think before you couldn't get down and look properly at that side because of the amount of trees. Let's head on down, folks. Mad adventures on the channel once again. Oh, this is totally like wobbly, eh? Brilliant, folks. I'll just keep this rolling. The viewers are along on this adventure as well. Yeah, so it shows the original bridge was right over here, and these metal pieces must have been even longer, and it looks like it's been gassed off, probably at the end of the railway period. It's cool to have this abandoned railway history on the channel, as well as all the other things we visit and document. Yeah, this is so cool, folks. Check it out from this angle. So this is abandoned Scotland at its finest, folks. The old steam railway And just imagine standing in an area like this when the train was hurtling along. The noise of the old original steam engines here. And I think this whole area has been put in to control the water. So probably in a storm situation in the future, it'll be easier for them to maintain it, because I think there was a lot of wood and trees and stuff that washed down here and got stuck. And then they had to come around basically and maintain it. But it's interesting to see the way so much of the side must have been taken away, and they had to put these stones back to repair it basically. And look, you can still see the trees actually. This is all the stuff that was washed down the river. I can also see the remains of giant hogweed up here, which is like an invasive species. When that stuff's growing, if you touch it, you can get proper burnt for the hairs on it, the spike you. Here I can see alongside this bridge as well, there's massive wooden columns in the water. And I'm just wondering if there has been some sort of wooden bridge there before this one was built. They maybe even built this one with a smaller wooden railway, bringing the supplies along the line. It's super interesting to see the way they used to build things back in the day, and the amount of storms this has put up with, it's just incredible. The lower bit of this one's so eroded. Years ago we used to climb down that. I think it's pretty safe. But I don't know if there's enough room there now for a fisherman to be standing comfortably. See, if we go down the ladder, we might be able to actually see those big wooden columns. But the history of that line was most likely taken away when these things were built. And it is just massive construction. Back places like that was built for Britain so that their goods could get over the land to where they needed to go. You could probably get about 10 lorry loads on one train, plus the amount of passengers needing to go around. It was just a busy empire at that time. The railway network was a crucial part of that. There was probably even loads of coal and stuff going up. Look at this stone here has been crushed and broken. Look inside it. Looks incredible. It's like bright red. Anyway folks, let's keep this adventure going. So let's go and check out this little beach here folks. Oh look, there's wee steps. Little wooden steps. It looks like they may have gone down to the sand at one time, but all that kind of earthy, sandy stuff's been taken away. Wow, this is mad, because look, they just kind of stop right here. They seem pretty strong. They seem strong enough that they're like a foot high before you even got on them, and I think so much earth was taken away when the storms were high. And look at the bridge from this direction. Look, the water's pure smooth. If we could find any stones here for skimming, it would be pretty cool. Look how the concrete sections have been put in to defend the riverbank, and they have worked. You can see it. They look in poor shape, but they've definitely defended the riverbank. When you see the shape of it today, it's almost just like the surface was taken away. Other areas you get stuff deposited. The far side's changed so much there since the last time I went down to this location. But years and years ago, when the railway was in operation, there's like old dike lines and stuff along the edge, and I think this whole area had been landscaped when the bridge was built. And I just love to see that. Yeah, look, there's old brick and stuff down here. Highlander 87, getting the stones skimming in here. I've not seen any decent stones here for getting a good skim. Here we go again. Yeah, that was a decent skim right there. And look, we've got a heron in the distance flying over. Sometimes when you see the herons, they look like a pterodactyl or something. Looks like a dinosaur, because, whoa! The water was going for it, folks. Here he is once again. Right to the other side. You can actually see how it used to be a wall when you look at the stones where the trees are. It's been an ancient wall line to control the water at that side. And I wonder if there's been anything at this side which has been taken away by the water. So check this out, folks. I've never actually recorded this bridge from such a long distance. It looks amazing. And look at this stone here. I've just spotted it. Look, for skimming. Oh, that thing looks mad. That is crazy. Check this beast out, folks. We're away to get this skim in. Here, that looks like the best location to skim, but we're going to try and do it down here actually. Let's go. I was just analysing the river there. Look at that one.
Hold the camera.
Here, that thing there would be the best Dean. Do you think we could do it? Look at all the wildlife under here, folks. You ready? There was nothing. Oh, look, there is a worm. See, one time we moved the stone, you remember? There was just so much underneath it, it was scary. Yeah, like you can actually see a line here. It almost looks like the river's been higher in the recent weeks. Here, I'm going to skim this stone down here. I'm trying to get the perfect area of river. Right, here we go. This is going to be a brilliant skim. Are you wanting to hold the camera? Here we go, folks. It wasn't too bad. It was not too bad, folks. I got a few skims on it. Look, there's a lot of bricks and stuff, and it's probably things that's been washed down the river. Whoa, that one came back on land. We'll be able to re-skim it. See here, there's just so much crazy colours and stuff in the rocks. Such a variety. Oh, look at this. It's a tiny bit of pottery. Check that thing out, folks. Little piece of pottery. Just think, somebody's probably sat and made a cuppy. They've maybe taken a spoonful of sugar out of that dish. And then here it is now. Out here in the wilds. It's been under a river probably for a good few years. Look, there's been a little ladder there as well. I think that whole area is kind of landscaped. Yeah, we're right on the edge of this little beach. I'm going to head down to the edge of the land, but we must do it, folks. Look, it's more sandy here now and more soft underfoot. We've got the stone skimming coming past us here. Yeah, see, if you had wellies, you could probably actually go along there further. Yeah, this is proper soft. Look, when I take a step, you see the ground moving proper, like far away from where my foot even is. Yeah, this would have been a good area to skim that stone. Yeah, folks, what an adventure. That's often the cool thing. You go to see a bit of abandoned history and then just explore the landscape around it. You find some interesting little nuggets. What do we have here, folks? Look. South Walled Bitter. Wonder how long that's been in the river and where that came from. Yeah, wait to see if I can get a stone to skim. Here we are, folks. I've selected some stones here for skimming. We're going to go down to this perfect area and see if we can skim them right as far down here as we can, basically. Highlander 87 is going to go first here. Check him out. Oh, I'm just about to slip into that on this surface. So let's get a close up here of the water, folks. Go for it. That was a funny one, eh? It was just one skip. One skim counts though. As long as it comes out of the water and goes back in, it's a skim. There we are now, folks. BKR is way to enter the arena. We're gonna send 5 stones down the way. Here we go. Let's see the action, folks. Here we go. That was poor. Oh yes, that was graceful. Last one, folks. Here we go. It's intense. This is the competition, the championship rounds. Yeah, that one was pretty decent. Brilliant, folks. It's just a little bit of fun along the way. A little stone skimming competition. But I think both of us got pretty far down the water there. It was 50-50. Anyway, on with this adventure. You know how it is on this channel, folks. We're spontaneous. Look how high the river's been. It's mad how the stuff just stuck in all these trees. So let's make our way back up these incredible steps, folks. It's mad the wee bits of landscape that we visit. And look, this would be a cool area to come to for a picnic one day if you were out and about. It is probably quite dangerous crossing that bridge because there's no railing, but if you have your wits about you, then it's a fine little walk across there. It looks like this pathway keeps on going along here. Check this out, folks. We're now going along this little path just a little bit further to see if there's any little historical wonders, maybe at the path side. Well, we're saying it's quite a, it looks like it's a well used kind of path, so it must lead to somewhere. But yeah, it's kind of just like a wildlife habitat. And we're now further down the side of here than what we were when we went onto the pebbles. And look, there's little fields and stuff. It must be accessed from the other side at the farm. Check out, folks, the cool bit of history. You can actually see the old rail line. That ridge in the land over where those trees are, the ridge in the land continues all the way over here. And that's actually the old line, the old rail line that we just saw the bridge for. And then that was going over to Dunn Station, where recently we recorded the steam train and stuff going into the station. So it's cool to have that on the video, speak about the history of these other lines. There is still a historical steam train that you can get from Dunn Railway over to Brechin. Certain times they've got steam trains or diesel trains running, but obviously back in the olden days when this stuff was constructed, there was railway lines over the whole country. Check it out, folks, you can see these geese flying over, and that's because we're only about 1 mile from the Montrose Basin, which is like a nature reserve here on the edge of Angus. And over in the distance we can actually see Bridge of Dunn, which was lost in a storm of extreme rain. It kind of washed away the foundation. It's still not been repaired, but this is as far down this path as we're going on this wee adventure. So it's just fun. Like, we were coming further and further down this road, but this time of year it gets dark earlier, so we're not going to keep pushing it and going further down. I was just wanting to make sure there was no wee abandoned historical wonders in this area. So here we are, folks, we're back at the old railway bridge. Now we have to navigate up this stairway here, which is super wobbly. Whoa, I just leaned on the wet surface. Whoa, stop it. See that stuff? Stuff out, it's total wobbling about. Look at the big chunks down here in the water. Yeah, look at this, the old rivets. That's what used to hold the big chunks of metal together on the railways. Proper rivets. And that chunk of steel probably came from a British foundry. And look at that below, I say it's a dangerous drop. That's how this path was closed for so long. We need to keep our wits about us. Here it is, a crazy view looking along here, with the autumn colours as well. Yeah, each of these stone pillars has got little wooden ones next to it. Not unless they had a little platform next to them at a certain time for fishing, or it's just that the supports at the far end look so much bigger. Yeah, these landscapes, folks, I love exploring history hidden within places like this. Look at the way the rivets are on this bit as well. Each of these girders are made up of big sections of metal, and at one time they were actually mounted on their side, mounted in on areas like this. Yeah, I don't know if I want to trust those stairs or not. What do you think? It's probably as safe, like, but there's still stuff stuck on behind them and that. I know, it's just a weird feeling when the river's moving at each side of you and then you're on this kind of metal plinth. Look at this, folks. I'm not sure if originally there was actually a stone at the end. Look how the fence is hanging down. Highlander 87, folks, he's on the bridge. It's an eerie feeling. But look how, you can see here how this was originally attached. Like on these thicker bits, and you can still see remains where they've been gassing it. Yeah, look at this for a scene, folks. It is mad when you see the length of this bridge and consider that metal girder there was actually longer originally and it was cut off. It would have been cool if they had continued it right on to the faraway embankment. But then it was maybe a bit of an operation to knock it onto its side. Think how much metal must have been taken from railways over the years. I wonder if it was an option of the landowner to do this, or if it was the British Railway itself that scrapped it.
When was it in use until?
See, I'm not sure with this scene, but in the 1960s a lot of the steam railways got like completely ended and wiped out.
They say the steel might have been used for the war effort or something.
Could have been, yeah, I think it was even after all that. And yeah, this is a popular fishing river. I think this is the River South Esk that comes through this way, and it actually flows out into the Montrose Basin. There is actually two River Esks. There's the North Esk and the South Esk. The North Esk flows out into the North Sea at the top end of Montrose Beach, near St Cyrus. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. When Highlander was jumping, I could feel it flexing. It's moving up and down. Wow, it's just a mad area we're in, and the sun's starting to set, so it's got an atmosphere. Quite often in my videos I'm saying wow or whatever, but when I'm looking around it's crazy to see the history and the way it changes, the way this landscape looks. And imagine it when the ferocious river was higher than our head height here. Even the local farm about a mile down there was proper flooded right into the farm yard at that time. And look, another thing, this tree has actually grown since the time this railway was abandoned, because that's the original line there of the girder. Check out this, folks, there's actually a bulge in it. I'm not sure how they turned this over, but they might have grabbed it with some sort of digger, or they might have been using it for other things. Like maybe they took bits of metal off this that was attached to the other ones in the middle. Yeah, you hear the noise of the metal. Every now and again it's got these holes, and I believe that was because it was originally designed as a footbridge. That lets the water out of each section so you can walk on it. And then these wooden pillars originally have been bolted on through, whereas now the weather's just gotten, like, taking its toll on them basically. And then look, there's another little side stream here, and it's interesting because it's kind of part of the river, but it's flowing completely separate for a good chunk of the land. It goes in a different direction and then it rejoins. So at the time of the big storm, this would have all been underwater, this whole area, even these fields and stuff like that. And that's at the time this bridge got clogged up. There was like whole trees and stuff getting stuck against the bridge. Yeah, I think I could go down that way. Yeah, there's no point, is there? I'd be as well just keep it going. It's all about the adventure on this channel. See at this side, look, there's big railway sleepers in the ground. So I wonder what that's been originally. Saying that was part of an older bridge as well. We actually see this type of brick used in more modern railways that's still operational. So it's cool to see it here on this abandoned one. Look at that. Looking along the whole length of that structure, folks. It's just mad coming to these locations. Even if you've been somewhere before, you often just notice so much more. And just think how much rivets is on this one beam alone, on this one little railway bridge, hidden in the lands of Angus. Considering there would have been 3 of these, or maybe even 4. And then think how many bridges over the country. And then consider how many rivets and pieces of metal were used. Some bridges still stand, and they're still used to this day from this era. And then yeah, this whole area here is interesting. You can almost see what the bricks say. Axington. And then there's little steps. And then I think it's like been older brickwork from an older time, and then this has kind of been built on the end of it. They've changed it. But look how the beams have originally been mounted right there. It's actually taken back over by ivy now, and that shows how nature just eventually takes over. You could just imagine loads of railway bridges looking like this. If civilization had disappeared, railway tracks just hidden under long grasses and bushes. Anyway folks, let's head on further along this vintage steam railway here. And just imagine when the trains came along, you would have to be super vigilant if you were driving your car. You would always have to be expecting a train coming. I'm not sure if this gate was original and it used to be across the road or what the deal was at the time. So check this out, folks. This will be the old footbridge that you had to come through. There was maybe a barrier. That red gate was across to that pillar, and then if you were out for a walk you'd have to come through here. This is maybe an old Victorian gate. And just look at the size of the hinges on that thing, like they are overkill. See, because of the way those nuts and stuff's made, like big squares, that's proper blacksmith engineering. Probably built by local blacksmiths. Oh look, there's been a different gate here on this one. Shows you the strength of these chunks of timber. Look, it's been well used, opened and shut regular. Yeah, this gate here must be far more recent, I would say, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, and then this is the wee roads. It's another one of these little Scottish roads like we see on the channel, weaving its way over the land. Little historical wonders hidden in between. And it's so cool to document them. But today we're running out of sunlight, so I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from Highlander 87. And we'll catch you very soon with the next one, wherever we end up going.